Good morning and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and we will begin our tour. Stop the Monsanto Protection Act, last chance. I had thought that the House and Congress both passed this, but evidently there is still time to contact lawmakers. At least there was yesterday. So this action is detrimental to farmers who want to fight against Monsanto's patent infringement lawsuits. So this is important. It seems like they kind of tried to sneak this one by, and if you have a few minutes like now, maybe you can get in touch with your lawmakers this morning. Teen gets 30 months in federal prison for laser pointer. That seems extreme. Laser pointers are now considered weapons that can land you in federal prison for nearly 2.5 years, even when you plead guilty. Be careful. Be careful what you let your kids play with, I guess. Drug-sniffing dogs violate private property rights, the Supreme Court of the U.S. rules. How interesting is this? The low-tech encroachments to privacy are being addressed. Maybe pretty soon the drones will be as well. How long have drug-sniffing dogs been out doing their thing? It's been a while, so it might take us a while to get rid of drones, but perhaps there is some hope. On the privacy topic, Facebook using offline purchase history to target users. So there are some companies who have agreed to give access to their information so that Facebook can craft the ads you see. How do you like that? Privacy and cloud computing and more from CRS. It's pretty obvious that anything that you put on a cloud is not going to be terribly secure. And you know, if you do any kind of creative work, if you have any intellectual property that you want to protect, I certainly would not feel comfortable with it being on a cloud. I had heard many years ago that Sun wanted to set up a computer system where the only thing that would be on your personal computer would be a portal into a larger computer somewhere. And that is how many companies began using computers. But I was never comfortable with that. I want things right here on my external hard drive, whatever. New Xbox reportedly won't let you play unless it can spy on you. So these are choices that we make. They put the ball in our court, and it's time for us to begin to say no to some of these things. Americans fight back against poison milk. Will 30 million children begin drinking aspartame at school? Now, this is an interesting article. There are a couple layers here. There's the actual article. But then the Vatican note is perhaps this is not the real issue. Something is wrong here. They keep feeding us stuff that would keep our attention on them and not on something else. At least it seems that way to me. What is it they don't want us to pay attention to? I don't know. But this is a time when it's very important to keep our eyes and ears open. And one of my goals with doing this video is to try to put a finger on the pulse of what's going on and find the significant things that are in motion. But as this says, you know, a lot of liberty people touch WND for their information, and information can be fed to us as Liberty people. We can be tracked. What we do can be predicted by these probability matrices, and they can divert our attention usually to what they want. So I really try to cut through that, and I'm sure that we all do, but it's not always easy to be able to select, to track the truly significant news. 18 reasons why doctors and lawyers homeschool their children. And there actually are the reasons given here. They're all great reasons, and homeschooling really just makes a lot of sense as long as you keep the TV and video games to a bare minimum and have your kids doing real things in the real world. Vaccine victory, widespread resistance from parents to HPV jab for daughters shows truth is spreading far and wide. And this is the good news with which I will end. I do believe that truth is beginning to spread far and wide. The Russian TV documentary that I mentioned does a really tremendous job of exposing exactly what is going on, and that documentary was intended for wide consumption. And the Woody Harrelson video that I mentioned yesterday is also, it's put together in such a way that people who do not tend to be conspiracy theorists can hear the logic of what is being said and appreciate that there is truth there. So yes, truth is spreading far and wide, and that is great news. She Who Will Walk in the Dark thanks you for participating in this tour of March 27th and hopes that you are having a great day today. The dawn is coming. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I hope that you are surrounded by people whom you love and who love you back in return. I hope that you will take care of yourselves and insist on liberty.